everybody. Since I posted my first videos on the Canon S95, I have actually gotten quite a few personal messages asking me what it does, what options it has, and so forth. And I would suggest you go read the reviews. Now, some of the best review sites don't have the reviews up for this yet. They simply have previews because it only came out a few weeks ago. So I thought I'd go through and just show you some of the shooting options you have in movie mode and in regular shooting mode, and look through the menu system as well to show you some of the options you do have. Some of the changes that have been made from the S90 are an improved image stabilization mode. 720p video is included in this now, and this camera is pretty much like a G12, Canon G12 in a smaller package. You can see how small it is by the size of my hand. You know, I have rather large hands, but very small pocketable camera. So anyway, let's take a look at some of the options you do have. So here's a quick look through the menu system and the shooting options of what you're going to see when you shoot in video and in still mode with the S95. Now, number one, you're going to see a bunch of hints and tips come up, and you can turn that stuff off somewhere in here, right there. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to turn that off. So say you're in regular shooting mode. I'm in aperture priority here. With the front dial on the lens, you can change your aperture by default, but there is you can program that. That's in default control. You can also make it the front dial change ISO, exposure compensation, manual focus, white balance, zoom, eye contrast by Canon, aspect ratio, and set it up as a custom to do it what you want it to do. So some of the functions, to start off with, the main ring on the back right here, if you push up, that's going to give you exposure compensation. If you push to the right side, it's going to bring your flash control online. And by the way, when you turn the flash on, the flash just comes up automatically. If you push down, that's your self timer. In self timer mode, the front dial on the lens lets you change the number of seconds you want to wait before you take the shot, and then the back dial lets you change the number of shots you want to shoot. If you push to the left, that brings up your focusing. A lot of people don't use macro when they really should on a point and shoot camera. Or you can choose manual focus. Okay, if you push set, the middle option, you have dynamic range correction, ISO, which goes from 80 to 3200 normally, white balance, there are some of your white balance options, colors, you can make certain colors stand out, or all colors, shoot in vivid mode, that kind of thing. It also has exposure bracketing and focus bracketing. You can shoot in continuous or continuous shooting with autofocus. Your metering is evaluative, center weighted average, or spot metering. Now your aspect ratio on this camera, it's a 4:3 sensor. So if you shoot raw, you're going to be shooting 4:3. You can also shoot 3:2, like most DSLRs shoot. 16:9, square, or 1:1, or 4:5. That's pretty cool, I think. This camera lets you shoot JPEG or RAW, or you can choose RAW plus JPEG. And then you can choose 10 megapixel, 6, 2, or 0.3. Now Canon's gone with this sensor and scaled back on the resolution because it gives you a better image. So the 10 megapixels is plenty for a very, very large print if you're worried about that. Most people won't be. So let's take a look at the options you may see in movie mode real quick. What control you have. A lot of people are wondering this. So you can shoot in a miniature effect, like a time-lapse video. You can accent certain colors or swap certain colors. Then you have your white balance options, about the same as in the shooting mode. And my colors, which are about the same as in the shooting mode. And then 720p video, or you can choose to shoot 640 by 40 or 320 by 240. So other than that, in movie mode, you really only have another one more thing, and that's exposure compensation. If you push up on the main ring dial on the back, it again brings up the exposure compensation. And you can twist the ring and make the image brighter or darker to expose for your camera's meter. When it sees black or white, it's going to try to make a middle gray, so you need to try to compensate for that with exposure compensation. So thank goodness movie mode has at least that. But it does not, when you half press the shutter, it doesn't tell you the shutter speed or anything like that it's using. It's, it's a point and shoot. So, and so it's very, very, very nice. Let's take a quick look through the menus in case you're interested. So you just push menu. Here are some of the options you're going to see. These safety MF and safety shift, those are just so if you choose the settings that are not going to give you a viewable image, then the camera will automatically give you a usable image out of it. So it's pretty handy to have. Has blink detection. It has a new hybrid image stabilization system, but you don't really have any other choices, just panning, shoot only, and continuous like it's pretty much always been. But it is a new system and it works pretty good. You can set the shortcut button on the back of the camera right here to do any of these things. And then the volume and sound options, those are for the camera, not the video. Change your startup image. Here are the startup images if you want to see them. And then you can set a custom menu up with like 8 different items you use most often and make that come up first when you push menu. So that's pretty much it. That's most of the shooting options you have in the Canon S95. So, who is something like this for? Well, I think something like this could be for any number of people. Beginners could learn on this camera and move up from this to a DSLR because you have all the manual controls that you need, and also can shoot in RAW. And but a DSLR owner could also buy one of these and take it with them when they can't take their DSLR. Being so small and having the abilities it has, I think it's a pretty good option. So anyway, do your homework, but that's a look at the S95.